Good evening, everybody. Welcome inside Doran Park in Bourne, Massachusetts. The Falmouth Commodores taking on the Bourne Braves here in West Division action in the Cape League. I'm Zach Sedetic alongside Matt Venezia and Destiny Sanchez. Falmouth looking to build on yesterday's win against Bourne. This is the second meeting between those two teams. With more on that, I'll send it over to Destiny Sanchez.
Thanks, Zach. A little recap the last time Bourne and the Doors saw each other. It was the second game of the season for the Doors at Guffeler Field. It ended in a tie in extras. They went into the 10th inning 2-2. The Braves scored at the top of the 10th, but so did Falmouth, saving them from a loss and ending with a tie. Falmouth is just one spot above the Braves in the West Division rankings, and it was still early in the season then, and we have a lot of new players on both teams now, so it should be interesting to see how these two teams match up.
Certainly will be, Destiny. Thank you for that. The Braves taking the field. This is how the Commodores line up to start things off. Leading it off is the switch hitting center fielder John Spikerman. Kyle DeBarge in the two-hole. Charlie Condon and Chase Lavalette, the 3-4 combo. Both guys in their last game for the moment as Commodores before they head to Team USA tryouts and training camp next week. Kevin Bazell hits fifth. He's playing third base. Colby Shelton, the designated hitter. Walker Yannick, Deuce Gorson, and Nate Humphreys rounding things out in the Commodores' order against the lefty from Liberty, Garrett Horn.
Yeah, Horn at this point started one game on the Cape so far, 3 innings. Gave up 2 hits, 4 runs, walked a couple of batters, 3 on that outing, and 4 Ks. So a little shaky for him. Again, everyone's getting accustomed. This is his second chance to get back out there, get comfortable now in the Cape season. And hey, great 1 through 9 for Falmouth to try to get 2 wins in a row.
Garrett Horn, fastball, slider, changeup. That heater can get up to 97 from the left side for the Flame. This is the defensive alignment for the Braves. It's Peterson, Harrelson, and Shafretta, the outfield. Shafretta, the lone man that was here last time these two teams met in that outfield. It's Alabama third baseman Bryce Eblin over at third. Jonathan Vastine from Vanderbilt at short. Cody Shojanaga is at second. Garrett Michelle at first. And Caden Bodine behind the plate. Catching the balls and strikes from Mr. Horn on the rubber. We're about ready to get going on a misty, cool day at Doran Park. Started raining a little bit ago, and it has continued here. Got the umbrellas up. A good amount of fans, though, braving the weather, bringing out the lawn chairs and getting some good views of a couple of good teams here out on the Cape.
Yeah, 2 teams looking to just get comfortable. You know, they've seen a couple of teams now in the Cape season, and you know, a tie last time these two teams faced were near the bottom of the West. You know, you got to find some wins here, and both teams are desperate for some.
Horn from the windup. First pitch is a fastball blown by Spikerman at 6 o'clock on the dot, and we are underway from Bourne. Horn goes into the motion. Southpaw delivers another heater and gets it by Spikerman again. Spikerman gives a look of respect there from that right-handed batter's box. A switch hitter batting from the right side against the lefty Horn. Infield deep across the diamond, playing Spikerman straight up. Horn with a couple of shakes off of Bodine. 0-2 outside, says home plate umpire Joe Gravina, excuse me. Sam Finn's down the first baseline. Mike Griffin down the third baseline. Our umpires here tonight in Bourne. Spikerman widens his stance with 2 strikes. 1-2, popped up right side. Michelle running over towards the fence, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. So a good start for Garrett Horn.
Yeah, he worked a couple of fastballs there past Spikerman. 2 good healthy hacks from the center fielder of Falmouth, and you know, just a little late on that one, got underneath it, and hey, you're seeing pitches. That's what you got to do, and now DeBarge will step in looking to find a way on here.
DeBarge back in the lineup after the day off yesterday, the shortstop tonight's action. Eblin, even with the bag at third, creeping. First pitch fastball high and outside to the Louisiana Raging Cajun Kyle DeBarge. 1-0 count. DeBarge, slightly open stance, back of the batter's box, stands tall. Yellow light swing comes up empty on that fastball, evens up the count.
Yeah, got him buckled there. Wasn't expecting that fastball there. Pretty ugly way to even the count at 1.
Horn stands first base side of the rubber from the windup. The 1-1. Stays high, pops off the glove. Bodine and rolls to the brick backstop here at Dorn Park. It's not very tall. Same thing with the fences all the way around into the outfield. 395 to dead center, 300 down the right field line, 330 down the left field line. Wind has been blowing in all night. 2-1, pops straight back over the press box and out of play. Horn evens things, it's 2-2.
A good recovery picture by Horn to get back in this at-bat. This is a guy who walked 47 batters this past season at Liberty, so you got to like what you see out of that. 11 walks worked by Falmouth yesterday against Wareham. You'd like to see that continue here in these good at-bats.
The 2-2. Outside, count runs full. Talked to Coach Trundy about that before the game, and he said, yeah, they gave us some, but I felt we worked some really good at-bats, and that's what we're hoping to see again here tonight from the Commodores. Horn shrugs the shoulders as he gets the sign. The 3-2 is driven high out to right field. Chafretta's back on it, rounding it to make the catch a few feet in front of the track. DeBarge hit it pretty hard, but flies out for out number 2.
Yeah, the ball just kept moving. Pre-game, the wind was coming in from right, even though it's only 300 down there to right field. Going the opposite way was DeBarge. Took a second for Chafretta to get underneath that one. He just kept going back and back. Nice piece of contact there, but just underneath it was DeBarge.
Brings up Charlie Condon. The Georgia Bulldog digging in from the right side. Sees the first pitch fastball high and outside. It's 1-0.
Was joking with Condon before the game, like he owes us one more big swing before he can leave the Team USA, and it'd be a nice time to get one here today.
It would. Holds those hands tight to that right shoulder. He awaits the pitch. It's the slider that dances low and in. Count now 2-0. Condon, 12 hits to pace this Falmouth team to this point in the young season. 285 average. Horn delivers the 2-0. Slice foul out of play down the right field line. Count now 2-1.
Yeah, not surprised to see that green light swing there from Charlie Condon. This is a guy who hasn't had too many barrels in some time. Just a lot of base hits. Nothing wrong with that, but your 3-hole hitter is supposed to get the explosive ones.
2-1, sent back to the same spot. Foul down that first base side. A 2-2 count to Condon.
I just laid on it again. Nice job here, though, by Horn to battle back with a couple of fastballs here. Looking for a put-away pitch.
Deep breath on the mound from Horn. High leg kick, the break even, sent right back to the screen by Condon. And another 2-2 upcoming.
These are those good at-bats that we're talking about. I mean, Spikerman had to work just a little bit, but then you saw DeBarge battle back and surrender on that full count. You're one pitch away from the same opportunity here.
Horn gets the sign from Bodine behind the plate. He'll step off and ask for a new baseball. It is still raining a little bit here at Dorn Park, and now Bodine will go out to talk with the lefty.
Yeah, I don't see a scenario where, we don't play baseball tonight. It's just a little irritating for us. You're having to work with the technicalities of doing this broadcast, not underneath a roof, but that's summer ball. That happens.
Yeah, it's just baseball weather right here in Bourne. Charlie Condon digs back in. Falmouth in the road black jerseys with the gray pants, the maroon stirrups. Bourne in the blue alternates, blue jersey, red lettering, white pants. Slider stays high and outside. Braves also wearing the camouflage hats with the Cape Cod League logo across the middle of it. Condon's worked a 3-2 count. The payoff pitch from Horn. Sent back off the light pole there and comes bouncing back towards Condon himself. He gets out of the way of it, but he continues to stay alive.
Yeah, you got to be careful with these poles that are holding up the netting here at Dorn Park. The netting will keep the ball from hitting the people behind it, but these poles will redirect the ball right back to where it came.
Another 3-2. Sent foul out of play again. Good at bat worked by Charlie Condon as he will earn a 9th pitch of this AB.
Good job by Charlie here, battling exactly what we saw yesterday against Wareham. Coach Trundy, what he told you, we're seeing it here in the first set of at-bats for Falmouth tonight.
Jace Lavalette stands on deck, hoping to get a chance here in this first inning. Another 3-2 to Condon. Bounces in, he lays off the breaking ball and works a 2-out walk to keep the inning alive.
That's how you do it. You extend the opportunity to Lavalette. Now you're going to get Horn working out of the stretch for the first time. We'll see how he handles that. This is a guy who has a 1.5 whip this past season, so he's prone to allowing base runners each inning, and now you have a spot to see how he works and what pitches will be called in a spot with a base runner.
Condon creeping off the bag at first base, and he'll be checked up on, but no tag put on by Garrett Michelle, Virginia Tech Hokie over at first. Lavalette digs back in. First left-handed hitter, first of 4 in this Commodores lineup today to face the lefty in Horn. Slider stays low, below the knees to Lavalette. It's 1-0.
I think that it's funny that we tried to pick off over to Condon. This is a guy who didn't steal any bases at Georgia this past year.
But he did steal third and was the winning
That's
run
true.
in the game against Harwich a couple of weeks ago for the Doors. Fastball catches the inner third for a called strike. Ends up the count 1-1. Lavalette had a 3-hit game yesterday. Pushed his average in his short time here up to 388, 7 for 18 on the summer. Left-handed hitter with that slightly open stance. Angles the bat over the left shoulder. Horn comes set at the chest. Left leg kick. Check swing on a fastball. Sends it right back to the backstop. As he couldn't keep his hands back far enough to lay off it in a 1-2 count.
Well, I think Lavalette's walking around here a little bit. Just asked home plate umpire if that was in the zone, and he said yes. And Lavalette, not really a believer in that one. Guess it would have been a strike regardless, even if he didn't get that check swing to make contact and foul it off.
Horn ahead in the count now, 1-2. Wind now blowing out. It's been swirling as we go. The 1-2 is driven high into center, but not overly deep. Harrelson coming in on it, dealing with the clouds, but he'll make the catch for out number 3. A 2-out walk, but nothing more for Falmouth in the top of the first. A.J. Causey makes his 2023 Commodores debut when we come back. A.J. Causey taking the bump to face this lineup for the Bourne Braves. Greg Harrelson leads it off. Cody Shojanaga in the 2-hole, and Garrett Michelle hitting third. Couple of Coastal Carolina Chanticleers in the 4-5. Derek Bender and Caden Bodine. Sam Peterson comes next, then Pete Chifretta. Bryce Eblin and Jonathan Vastine round things out at the bottom of the order for the Braves to face A.J. Causey. Headed to Tennessee next year, and he's got a few different pitches, including one that he calls a rise ball out of there, almost like a cutter type look from that angle, Matt.
Yeah, out of Jacksonville State. Put together a pretty solid year. 14 games started, was 5-2, a 5.07 ERA. I'm sure he wants to get that down a bit. 76 and a thirds innings pitched. He also hit a little bit. 27 at-bats for AJ over there in Jacksonville State. I don't think we'll see him swing the bat tonight.
He had 9 hits in those 27 at-bats.
He can swing it if he has to. If it comes down to it, don't be surprised if at some point this year we see number 12 for the Commodores swing it.
Greg Harrelson steps in. First pitch takes just inside to start off the season for A.J. Causey with the Doors. Texas Tech Red Raider and Harrelson at the plate. Bats from the left side. Chops one right past Causey and into center field. And a leadoff single for the Braves.
Yeah, just right back up the box. You almost thought that Causey was going to be able to knock that one down and just out of the reach of DeBarge over there at shortstop. And right away, doesn't take long, but Causey's got to work quickly out of the stretch.
Brings up Shojanaga, who's been pretty good so far. This is his 11th game with the Braves, hitting over 300. Kansas Jayhawk digs in from the right side. Harrelson with good speed. 3-step lead off of first, being held on by Condon. Chopper foul. Causey hunched over as he gets the sign in the stretch. And then comes from that sidearm, maybe even a little bit lower than side angle on that release point.
It's almost like he learned it overnight from Steve Cishek, who just got into town for Falmouth.
Definitely some guys with some tough to hit angles there. A changeup catches the inside corner. It's 0-2. It is extremely difficult for right-handed hitters to hit a guy from this angle, especially one like Causey who throws a sinker that's going to come in on their hands.
That's a good pitch to saw guys off, and you can go to a fastball ahead 0-2 because of what that pitch does from that arm slot.
Harrelson with a big jump, he takes off. Ground ball to third. Bazell will have no play but first. Fires across in time. So Harrelson being in motion takes away a potential double play for the Doors. A man in scoring position for Bourne with one away. And the heart of the order coming up, it's Garrett Michelle.
Yeah, good to see AJ get his first out of the frame here, and just a routine ground ball. The hit and run eliminates the double play opportunity for Bazell. He's smart, checks what he has at second, and just gets a sure out. And now you got one on the board. We'll see what we can do moving forward.
Michelle bats from the left side. Takes a changeup low and outside. It's 1-0.
Yeah, Michelle right now, 7 RBIs at the very top for Bourne. He's got a certain spot here where he can bring in a runner in scoring position. That's why they have him batting in the 3 spot.
Misses outside again. Try to go backdoor to the lefty and Michelle. Michelle is the man that had the RBI single that put Bourne in front in the top of the 10th. In the first meeting between the two, the Doors came back and tied it, and the game ended 3-3. Causey more straight up this time as he delivers outside. Quickly 3-0 to Michelle. Derek Bender stands on deck.
Yeah, if nothing else, you get the right-on-right matchup next with Bender. Double play comes back into effect. Can't imagine they throw him anything to hit here the rest of this at-bat.
3-0 is a called strike. Fires that sinker on the inner third. It's a 3-1 count now. Infield, a few steps towards the right side. Deuce Gorson playing second base is on the edge of the right field grass. 3-1, tipped into the glove of Walker Yannick. The count runs full now, 3-2. Good battle here from Causey and Michelle.
Yeah, really good job battling back. Gave him that sinker pitch, the fastball right down the middle, and then he got some sort of right to left, maybe the slider there to swing and miss.
The payoff pitch. Outside ball 4. Michelle lays off the off speed and works a walk. 2 aboard with 1 away for the Braves.
I mean, no damage, right? I mean, it was 3-0. You battled back. You give yourself an opportunity. But this is now Derek Bender, very well known out of Coastal, as you mentioned, partner. And again, now the double play is in order. Looks to be that the guys up the middle are playing that way. And a twin kill here can get you out of the inning.
Bender stands tall, angles that bat over the shoulder. Slight bend in the knees, swings on the first pitch and sends it foul out of play down the first base side. It's 0-1, a good season for Derek Bender, Coastal Carolina. Had a good amount of DHing for the Chanticleers, and that's where he is here in the lineup with his collegiate teammate and fellow catcher Caden Bodine in the on-deck circle. Couple looks back to second. The 0-1 hit on the ground, past a diving Bazell and into left. That'll bring around Harrelson. They'll hold up Michelle at second, but an RBI single from Derek Bender starts the action off for Bourne in the bottom of the first.
Well, Bender's only been here now 4 games for Bourne and has already made himself known, the 364 in 11 tries. And right there, he wastes little time. It's a sharp ground ball. You have a diving Bazell trying to keep that one in on the infield. It was a very long single because of what Lavalette did to get around that ball quickly. So same situation with 1 run in, second and first. Still needing 2 more outs.
Now the switch hitting catcher Caden Bodine steps in. Batting from the left side against the righty and Causey. Michelle's at second, Bender at first. Called strike, sinker catches the outside corner. It's 0-1. Braves with an early lead, trying to give some run support to Garrett Horn. Causey comes set at the belt, high leg kick, delivers off speed outside, evens things up 1-1. Causey, one of the best pitchers in the ASUN this year with the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State, headed to the SEC in Tennessee for next season. 1-1, roped into left field, a base hit. Michelle being waved around third. He'll head to the plate. The throw goes to third, and Bender slides in safely. Another RBI single, and Bourne still has him on the corners with 1 away.
Yeah, it's tough. Bodine, this is his first game with Bourne so far. A lot of these guys coming in late from their collegiate seasons. Talk about making an appearance in your first opportunity. RBI knock keeps the inning rolling for Bourne. Already 3 hits off of A.J. Causey here. Got to find a way here to limit this damage.
An early 2-0 lead for the Braves. Causey's first pitch misses outside on the slider. The right-handed hitter Sam Peterson, Hawkeye out of Iowa, bends the knees in that stance. Sawed him off, sends it over, just foul past the first base line. 1-1 count to Peterson. It's his second appearance for the Braves, 1 for 1 to this point. Shoots one to short. DeBarge on a short hop. Flip to Gorson at second, and no relay from him. An RBI fielder's choice. And Bourne puts up 3 in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, not really sure what happened. I don't know if Gorson just didn't field it properly and didn't trust himself on the transfer to fire one back over to first. That allows that run from third to score in Bender. And it's a 3 spot, but you're 1 out away from just stopping it where it is.
A dream start for Bourne in the bottom of the first. Pete Shafretta steps in. Slight bend in that front knee, and that's it. Squares to bunt, pulls back, a called strike. Batting from the left side out of Lafayette. Peterson creeping off the bag, 3-step lead, extends it as Causey comes set. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw down from Yannick, not in time. Peterson swipes second, and another runner in scoring position for Bourne here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, they're making a living right now off of getting guys in scoring position and keeping the line moving. We talked about yesterday, Falmouth had success off of that. These have all been base hits, Zach, that guys are just moving around, helping each other out, working good at-bats against Causey here. But again, you are 1 strike away from getting out of it.
An 0-2 count to Chafretta. High leg kick from Causey. Thought he had strike 3, but Joe Gravina disagrees. He says it's outside, and it's a 1-2 count.
Yeah, Walker Yannick also thought that was it, too. He stood up out of the crouch, began his walk, and then stopped.
Chafretta awaits the 1-2, skies one to shallow right. Humphreys calls off Gorson and Condon to make the play, and the Doors are out of the inning, but not before Bourne puts up 3 runs on 3 hits. A rude awakening to Falmouth back to the plate, tracing 3-0 here, but quickly sent it to Destiny Sanchez.
Thanks, Zach. Cape Cod Healthcare is proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Cape Cod Baseball League and shares a reminder that blood donated to the Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod. Help to save the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Cape Cod Healthcare, caring, commitment, and community.
Thank you, Destiny. Kevin Bazell takes the ball high to start the top of the second inning. Bourne with a great start for the Braves. 3 runs in that bottom of the first against A.J. Causey. Falmouth going to have to get it back here. Trying to start it off here in the top of the second. Kevin Bizzell takes high again. It's quickly 2-0 to the Commodores' third baseman.
Yeah, Bizzell had himself a diving play a second ago, trying to keep the ball in the infield. Trying to get some of those runs back here quickly.
Horn from the windup. 2-0 fastball hit right back up the middle and past a backhand attempt from Shoja Naga at second. A leadoff single for Kevin Bizzell, his first hit of the summer for the Doors. And Falmouth trying to spark a rally.
Yeah, definitely had been coming. He had a couple opportunities, working a couple of walks yesterday and some ground ball outs as well. But Bizzell, a lot of ground balls for his time here. We've seen that from a lot of guys adjusting still the wood bats and getting accustomed since their collegiate seasons ended. That one right back up the box. Good for Kevin to get his first.
Colby Shelton now steps in. And it was Florida Gator committed to Florida today. Takes a slider for a called strike. That's a hard slider from Horn. Working from the stretch again, something that he only had to do for 1 at-bat in the last inning after surrendering the 2-out walk to Charlie Condon. Bizzell, a 2-step lead off of first. Shelton couldn't hold up his swing on that slider that breaks outside, and Horn quickly in front 0-2, firmly in control of this AB.
Yeah, we've seen some struggles from the lefties. Lavalette a little bit getting worked inside with that breaking ball coming back inside and over the plate.
Couple looks over to first, the 1-2. Fastball outside.
That's a great take there by Shelton. I think behind the plate, Boyne thought that one was over.
1-2 count. Michelle playing just inside of first base. Everybody else is deep. Swing and a miss. Fastball right by Shelton. First strikeout of the ball game for Garrett Horn, and the first man retired in the second. With that runner on first and Bizzell and Walker Yannick now coming to the plate.
Yeah, worked him a little backwards there. 1-2. Fires a fastball there. Well behind it with Shelton. Working backwards, you know, you can get away with some at bats. I think early on, guys aren't expecting that, but second time through the order, I think Shelton's going to remember that.
First pitch fastball to Yannick for a called strike. Catches the outer third. Brings the count to 0-1. Walker Yannick had a good season at Sam Houston State this year for the Bearcats. Trying to bring that here to the Cape this summer. 2 for 9 start to his Commodore career. Slider in on the hands and fisted foul.
Yeah, you can just hear the sound there. Kind of sawed him off a little bit. Getting some sort of contact. Now Yannick resetting the gloves a little bit and stepping back in the box.
Second straight hitter with an 0-2 count. Garrett Horn pounding the zone early in this start. Bizzell still standing at first after the leadoff single. 0-2 breaking ball, and Yannick went around. Horn hit the deck. He slipped as he delivered it, but gets the strikeout. Back-to-back punch-outs after the leadoff single, and now 2 away with that runner still standing at first base.
Yeah, a couple indecisive third strike swings from the Commodores dating back to Shelton just a second ago, and Yannick on 3 pitches gets dealt with. Right now, they've got the Doors all kinds of swinging right now early on in this ball game from Garrett Horn.
The wind picking up here at Doran Park. Horn delivers a fastball for a called strike. Wind has been swirling. It's still misting here in Bourne. That early lead for the Braves so important in a game like this. Bizzell creeping. 0-1 fastball firm and catches that outside edge. It's 0-2 to Deuce Gorson.
Yeah, back-to-back 0-2 counts and a 1-2 count worked against Shelton. I mean, right now, after that base hit, Garrett Horn seems to be right back to what he did pretty early on in this ball game.
Rocks himself set. High leg kick. 0-2. Swing and a miss. The leadoff single from Bizzell, but Horn with 3 straight punch-outs to follow it. We head to the bottom of the second. 3-0. Braves in front of Falmouth on the Commodores Radio Network. Bottom of the second, and Bourne with an early lead. The Doors trying to keep the deficit to 3 as 8-9-1 due up in the order for the Braves, and it doesn't get much easier. You get an Alabama infielder, a Vanderbilt infielder, and a Texas Tech outfielder. Some Power 5 conference talent here on the Cape, spread throughout these teams all over the league. Eblin squared to bunt, pulled back, takes for ball 1 outside. Bazell came sprinting in from that third base side, and he'll move now right onto the edge of the grass. Eblin, slightly open stance in that left batter's box, takes outside.
Yeah, suffered an injury early this year on March 10th, did Eblin, so limited appearances for him, only 22 starts for him at Alabama. Also pitched a couple of games as well.
The 2-0 misses out again. It's quickly 3-0 to start this at bat to Eblin. A.J. Causey just trying to settle himself down in these poor conditions. Called strike. Gets himself back in the count. It's 3-1. Wind continuing to gust. The mist continuing to fall from the sky at Doran Park. Eblin hands high as he awaits the 3-1. High chopper left side. Bazell on the short hop. Throw on the run in time. Pretty play there at third by Kevin Bazell, and 1 away.
Yeah, really big first out picked up at the inning. Bazell picking up his picture there, fell in behind in the count pretty early there at the 3-0, worked it back with a taken fastball. You just get a ground ball. I mean, that's what it's going to take, that sidearm angle. I mean, a lot of these baseballs have been on the ground that have started the runs for Bourne, so going to be a lot of ground balls today in these gross conditions, and it'll take the infield behind him to help him out.
Jonathan Vastine steps in, swing and a miss. Swings right under that pitch from Causey. Has a little bit of rise on some of these pitches based on the trajectory of his arm slot. Delivers outside. It's 1-1. Vastine out of Vanderbilt University. He's a Commodore at school, but a Brave here on the Cape. 1-1, sent back to the screen. 1-2 count.
More importantly, in this 9 spot here, you already know what the top of the order was capable of doing. 3 base runners to reach in the first 2 at-bats, setting up the rest of that first inning. So you'd like to see the top of the order next with 2 outs instead of another base runner.
Causey working from the stretch, the 1-2. Just misses outside edge. Evens up the count 2-2. Really nice take there from Vastine. Opens up his stance from the left side. Hands tight to the chest. The 2-2 is flipped up into the air on the left side. Out in shallow left field, DeBarge makes the play, and 2 quick outs to start the bottom of the second for A.J. Causey.
Yeah, nice job there. Got him to pop one up again, battling in the count. Keeping it on the infield, I mean, that's what you're expecting out of Causey. He's going to strike some guys out, but not a whole lot. I mean, this year only had he had 89 strikeouts. He did strike out a lot of guys, as I say that, in over 76 innings pitched. But on the Cape, again, a little bit tougher competition than what he saw at Jacksonville State. So you take the outs when you can get them.
First pitch misses up to Greg Harrelson. He singled right back up the middle in his first at bat. Came around to score on the RBI single from Derek Bender. Takes outside. It's quickly 2-0. Infield deep across the diamond with 2 away. Causey is wide open as he gets the sign. Closes himself slightly. High leg kick. Harrelson tries to lay one down and bunts it foul. It's 2-1. The light's already on here at Doran Park due to the clouds and the mist. Trying to light up this field. Harrelson. Slight bend in the knees from the left side. Shoots one the other way to third. Bazell with a long throw gets the speedy Harrelson by a step, and a 1-2-3 bounce back inning for A.J. Causey. We're through 2 at Doran Park. Braves in front 3-0 on the Commodores Radio Network. Top of the third from Bourne, a 3-0 lead for the Braves over the Commodores here on a misty Thursday night at Doran Park, but still getting some baseball in, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of summer ball. I mean, when you play every day, you're prone to the conditions that the Northeast will throw at you here in the summer months, and it's just a fun time when you deal with things like this, and we're having a good time. I think we're more worried about the equipment being okay, but in terms of calling a game out here in the rain,
It'll
something new.
It'll play.
It will.
Glad you guys joined us, hopefully from some drier confines where you're listening
Yeah.
to this one.
Well
Zach
said.
Senek alongside Matt Venezia, Destiny Sanchez, Laura Schroeder helping us out on the graphics again tonight. 9-1-2 for the Doors here in the top of the third. Starts with Nate Humphreys. First pitch from Horn is a called strike on the outside edge. It's the lefty and Humphreys, and then switch hitter and a couple of righties to face the southpaw for the Braves. 0-1. Check swing, couldn't hold up. Slider gets another swing and a miss, and yet another 0-2 count. This is now the fourth straight hitter to face an 0-2 count from Horn. The pitch, swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, says Garrett Horn, one away.
Yeah, and I think every at-bat through these, this bottom part of the order that's gotten down 0-2, there's been indecisive swings in them. Right there, an 0-1 check swing that was more of a sword, being caught off guard with the breaking stuff, and that's everything you need to know. You're showing your cards face up, and all Horn needs to do is blow a fastball right by you, and that's what he did there to Humphreys.
Spikerman steps in, swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Michelle giving chase, and he'll watch it land on the hill. Out of play on that first base side. It's an 0-1 count. Spikerman popped out to Michelle in a similar spot to that, just in play in his first at-bat. 4 consecutive strikeouts on 6, 7, 8, 9. Following that leadoff single in the second by Kevin Bazell. That ball stays up. That's the first ball we've seen from Horn in a little while, and it evens up the count to Spikerman.
First at-bat since Colby Shelton seeing a ball. It was to lead off. Sorry, the second man to bat in the second inning.
Horn in the line, the 1-1. Fastball called strike. Spikerman fired the hips, couldn't get the hands through. It's a 1-2 count. Infield deep, outfield playing straight up against Spikerman. Switch hitter has a little more power from that right side. See if he can tap into it here, but widens the stance with 2 strikes. 1-2, slider, swing and a miss. 5 straight punchies for Garrett Horn as he continues to mow through this Falmouth order.
Yeah, this is pretty incredible stuff we're seeing here from Garrett Horn. I mean, every at-bat, you're seeing a pitch that the Doors are just certainly not expecting, and that allows you as a pitcher, to again, they're showing their hands, not being able to stay, and it's all been on seeing a breaking ball, expecting a fastball. The Doors are expecting fastballs in certain counts, and for the last 4 in a row, they've gotten the breaking ball.
Fastball up to Kyle DeBarge, and a ball to start the count. Trying to get ahead in the count and see if they can get some more predictable spots. DeBarge pops one straight out of play. It'll land on top of one of the buildings behind us. So the roof getting a little testing there from some baseballs. I'm sure that's not the first one it's seen, and I'm sure it won't be the last this summer. The 1-1. Breaking ball, slicing the other way, foul. Just down the right field line. That ball almost got to the fence. It's so short out there right at the line. That 300-foot sign right on the foul pole.
I was talking to Deuce Gorson about it pregame. He had the big home run the other night against Orleans to that same right field side. But it's short out there, as you mentioned, Zach. Lefties can certainly get one out tonight.
1-2. Line drive into right center. Long run for Harrelson, but he'll make the play on the run. Another 1-2-3 inning worked by Garrett Horn. He's in complete control. It's 3-0 Bourne, heading to the bottom of the third on the Commodores Radio Network. Back at it here in the bottom of the third with a trio of runs in the bottom of the first. A 1-2-3 inning worked by Causey through 8-9-1 in the bottom of the second. Now going to have to go through the heart of the order here in the third.
Yeah, it's a big step for Causey. You got to think he's on a pitch count just with it being his first, appearance this summer for Falmouth. And this is the heart of the order entering your third inning. In terms of wanting longevity and length, you'd like to see Causey find a way to get through this unscathed.
First pitch to Shojinaga misses high. Shojinaga grounded out to Kevin Bazell back in the first. 1-0 runs in on the sinker. It's a 2-0 count now.
Can't get behind the 2, 3, 4 guys of this Bourne roster. They're just way too good.
2-0 is chopped on the right side. Conan will field. Underhand flip to Causey and a little dance move to touch the top of the bag for out number 1.
And you'll take them any way they can come. I mean, right there, 2-0 count falling behind, but you get a chopper ground ball and one of the best contact bats on the Cape and Cody Shojinaga, and you'll take that.
Brings up Garrett Michelle. He walked and scored in the first. Virginia Tech Hokie digging in. Left-handed hitter at the plate. Takes the called strike to start the at-bat. In that first plate appearance for Michelle, Causey fell behind 3-0, worked back to full, and then couldn't finish off the at-bat as he missed outside. Yellow light swing, appeal down, and Michelle went around. It's 0-2.
Yeah, it's a good thing they got the check there behind the plate. Joe Granava did it late, and saying Mike Griffin, he did go. Initially, that was going to be called a ball behind the plate.
Causey with the 0-2. Just inside. Causey thought he had it, but couldn't catch the black. It's 1-2.
Yeah, not seeing some calls other than that previous one really go Falmouth's way so far. That one looked relatively close. I guess a good take, but that one looked really too close to take.
Michelle awaits the 1-2. That one brushes him back as it gets a little inside. 2-2 count. 228 average for Michelle. Does have a long ball already on the summer. The break even from Causey. Misses outside with the sinker. Starts it on the outside edge and it breaks a little away. Michelle lays off it and he's worked the count now full. Infield a couple of steps towards the right side with Michelle at the plate. The 3-2. Pop foul out of play. And the Braves first baseman stays alive.
Yeah, Michelle's going to make you work. He had a full count, earned the walk last time up. No surprise here. He's the one battling back into the count, working off foul balls, taking pitches. Let's see if Causey, though, can win that battle here. He didn't win it the previous time.
The payoff pitch. Slicing line drive to left. Lavalette runs in and watches it drop in front of him. A one-out single for Michelle in the middle of the order, once again finding success against A.J. Causey.
Garrett Michelle, really good at-bat work there. I mean, this is your three-man in the lineup who's finding ways to come back from counts and then finally get a pitch that he can get on to line drive the other way. That means you're locked in, and that's exactly what you expect out of your big bats. And Michelle gets on here with one out.
Brings up Derek Bender. Check swing. Peel down. Bender lays off on that slider. It's a 1-0 count. Bender pulled a ground ball past Kevin Bazell down the third base line for an RBI single, and then came around to score later in the inning on the Sam Peterson fielder's choice. Shoots this one on a hop past Deuce Gorson and in to left center. Sends it in. And runners on the corners. One went into right center. My apologies there. But another single for Derek Bender and runners on the corners.
Well, that's tough. You're thinking that you might be able to turn a quick 4-6-3, but Gorson went down to a knee to field that on a really quick short hop. If anything, you'd like to see him maybe charge that and try to get it on the pick. Or, when you break down like that, you're expecting to stop the ball in front of you. Not what happened there. Bounced right over his glove. That's a tough play to make as a second baseman so sharply. But double play is still in effect here. You got to find a way to get out of it.
And it's a different look for Gorson as well, moving over to second. First pitch to Bodine, a called strike. Gorson was telling us yesterday he's played the left side of the infield his entire life. Was comfortable at third when he moved over there. Now getting a different look here at second base.
Sure. I mean, it's an adjustment, no doubt.
Bodine fouls one back to the screen. It's 0-2. Bender, not the fastest runner, but a very aggressive base runner, and he's smart over at first base. He bluffed the steal there on the last pitch. We'll see if he's in motion at any point in this at-bat. The runner at third is Michelle. The runner at first, Bender, with Bodine at the plate. An 0-2 count. And Bender was on the move, and Causey picked him off. Condon throws back to third, and Bender moves up to second. Michelle dives back in safely, and so Bender swipes the bag without a pitch.
That's so tough because what else are you supposed to do if you're Charlie Condon? I mean, it's already 3. You got to keep an eye on that runner at third in Michelle, and he's just a smart base runner. I mean, he's going to get off the base there and make you think about it. Condon's running to his right, eyeing the man going to second. That's textbook right there, but again, no damage yet.
The 0-2 slapped foul right on top of the Bourne dugout. Another 0-2 upcoming. 2 in scoring position. Bourne trying to add on here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, the ideal situation there would have been if you get the quick pickoff move from Causey, Condon can just slap the tag, or he can charge at him himself. But you have to keep a runner on Michelle, and that's why he's at third.
Another 0-2. Chopper that gets by Causey, gets to second. Gorson throws in time to get Bodine, but another run will come across. It's 4-0 Bourne in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, all that done really by Garrett Michelle. I mean, he's not scoring if that pickle play doesn't happen. That probably is too slow to turn 2, Zach, but nonetheless, I mean, just a tough fit there by the infield. But now, look, you got a runner on third. There's 2 outs. Everyone's back in normal depth. You got to keep this at 4.
Sam Peterson takes the ball inside to start his at-bat. He had the fielder's choice that brought in Bender for the third run. Back in the first inning, big swing and a miss on a pitch that just looked like it floated in to Yannick. Peterson was trying to put that one maybe on the football field out beyond left field fence. Infield's deep. Peterson bends his knees into his stance. The 0-2. High chopper back up the middle. Gorson fields just a step to the right. Strong flip in time to get him for out number 3, but Bourne brings another run across. It's a 4-0 ball game, a third of the way through this one from Doran Park. Welcome back to Bourne. It's 4-0 Braves in front. Doors looking to get something going or a response, but this isn't the only game going on tonight on the Cape. With more, Destiny Sanchez.
Thanks, Zach. The Wareham Gatemen lead the YD Red Sox 5-1 in the top of the 7th. The Katuitt Kettleers lead the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 1-0 at the bottom of the 3rd. The Brewster Whitecaps and the Orleans Firebirds are scoreless, and the Hartwich Mariners and the Chatham Anglers are rescheduled for June 27th at 7 p.m.
Thank you, Destiny. A rainout between the Mariners and the Anglers. That's a tough one for them, but the games that the Doors are keeping an eye on, the one in YD and the one in Hyannis, they like the score so far in Hyannis for the most part as they're chasing the Harbor Hawks and the Kettleers, but that Wareham YD game, Doors hoping the Red Sox can find a way back, as Falmouth at this point only trails Wareham by a point. But if the scores hold right now, there'd be some separation there. And Falmouth would be looking up at everybody in the West standings to this point in the season if they can't come back here tonight. But still 33 more to play after this. And still 6 innings left of baseball to play here in Bourne.
Now batting, the first baseman from University
The mist starting to pick up here.
Charlie Condon.
And the wind gusting out to right center as Charlie Condon steps up. It's been 6 straight retired by Garrett Horn, 5 of those by way of the strikeout. since the single from Kevin Bizzell led off the second. First pitch slider to Condon is fouled straight back to the brick and bounces back to Charlie Condon.
Condon's been such a good fastball hitter, taking pitches right back up the middle, but really looking to see him explode in the extra base category. It's been a long time since we've seen Condon really barrel one into a gap.
0-1 is skied out to center field. Harrelson with a long run, and he's called off as that ball tails to right. Pete Ciafretta makes the play for out number 1.
Yeah, Condon again, just underneath that one a little bit. Drives it out the other way. The wind doesn't help, obviously. That's the first out of the inning. The Commodores only one hit to this point, Zach.
Chase Lavalette steps up. Lavalette flew out to Harrelson in center in his first at bat. Lefty-lefty matchup. Horn delivers slider that bounces low. Same pitch he started Lavalette with back in the first. It's been a strong start for Bourne, who have won 2 of 3, looking to make it 3 of 4 here. The defending CCBL champions. Fastball high, and it's quickly 2-0 to Lavalette. The Doors have been pretty good at keeping themselves in baseball games to this point. They have been within a run in the 7th inning or later in all but one game this season, and it was last night. Fastball bounces in, it's 3-0.
Yeah, the elephant in the room in that statistic is that big 7th inning they gave up against YD at home. But yeah, no, every game it seems like Falmouth's had a chance. They were on the right side of close games, though, yesterday, it felt like.
3-0. Misses in, a 4-pitch walk to Jace Lavalette, and 1-out base runner for the Doors, and Kevin Bizzell coming up.
Yeah, you'll take that. That's the first base runner since Bizzell led off the second with a base hit. Now you get him in there, and look, it's not going to come in, all at once. Each guy's got to work the at-bat here. There's so much baseball left, but only a handful of base runners to this point for Falmouth. They stranded 2 today. I mean, they've had some efforts with the walks, but now you got to capitalize.
Slider, check swing, appeal down, and no swing, says the first base umpire, Sam Finn. 1-0 count to Bizzell. Waves that bat around in the right-handed batter's box. The Texas Tech Red Raider awaiting the delivery. Fastball called strike on the outer third. And it's 1-1. Good sized crowd here on this misty night as it continues to rain in Torrent Park. Slider stays above the letters to Bizzell. 2-1.
That's a really big spot here for Bizzell. You got to wonder which Commodore is going to break out once bats like Condon and Lavalette are gone for a little bit. I'd like to think Bizzell can do that. He's a 62 RBI man a season ago.
2-1, fastball low and outside, and a good hitter's count. It's 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, you have 1 hit so far. You're looking for a guy to break out here. Bizzell, a couple ground balls since being here in Falmouth. Get on one here. Rip one. Find a pitch you like on this hitter's count and try to build something this inning.
Bizzell's ahead. Horn with a long look into Bodine to get the sign. The lefty comes set at the chest. The 3-1 is a slider that never had a chance. It stays up. Back-to-back walks, and there's 2 aboard with Colby Shelton coming up.
It doesn't matter how you get the base runners. I mean, if Horn's been looking locked in, now he's starting to lose it just a tad here. And Colby Shelton's going to come in again. This is a guy who hit 25 home runs at Alabama this year as a freshman, going to Gainesville next year, okay? I mean, he's certainly capable. Colby, we're waiting to see him break out a little bit as well. He's been here a couple games now. And you talk about next year in Florida, a lineup with Jack Caglione and Colby Shelton right there with him. I mean, that's going to be powerful for the guys in Gainesville to try to make another run to Omaha.
And we'll see how the Gators are able to do next week in the College World Series final. Right now, the game going on in Omaha between Wake Forest and LSU. Paul Skeens and Red Lauder, that's going to be a very fun show to watch.
Yeah, Zach's pretty convinced that Wake's going to have it their way throughout the rest of this thing. But
I don't
think
know.
Those Gators are holding a pretty good bargain on their side of the bracket.
They're good. I think that the winner of this game is going to give them a run for their money. LSU with Paul Skeens on the mound, you can never count them out.
Right.
But Red Lauder's been very good as well. Meeting on the mound is over. Here at Horn still in. The rain's starting to pick up. And the wind picking up as well, blowing in now. And the runner was going. They'll throw it to second. Lavalette swipes third without a throw. Heblin tried to deke him and pretend the throw got away. Lavalette stays on the bag, and runners on the corners now.
That almost looked like it was in slow motion. I mean, when you're a lefty there, you come over the back top to go to second, and he saw Lavalette running, and he still lollipopped it to second base. I mean, you can just bluff the throw, even throw it on a line, and I think Lavalette's out.
But what you saw yesterday in the game at Gov Fuller Field, Keegan Allen tried to throw it really hard to second. He bounced it in, it got into center field, and Ross Highfield scored from second.
That's true. I mean, if you're a pitcher, you got to be able to hit targets, whether it's 60 feet, 6 inches.